Hello and welcome to the Futurist 3D video training series. My name is Jeff Christiana and this is video number 6 of the ReplicatorG 34 video series on how to understand the start.gcode and end.gcode files. Now, the start.gcode is very important to the TF3D machines. Without that file, your printer would not preheat, it would not auto home, it would not be ready for your print job. So what we're going to do is we'll walk through where the G-code is located and what it does and each line item. So on this frog here, we're going to go up to G-code. We're going to look at the first few lines. You go ahead and skip this. This is generated by SceneForge. You're going to look at each one of these G-codes. So from here all the way down, all the way down to here. Now these are all generated by start.gcode, and you can see there's no descriptions here. We've removed descriptions to make the G-code, the generated G-code file, smaller. If information was turned on, you would double or triple the size of your files. We've turned that off, so all you have is the raw G-code throughout everything. And towards the end here, you have your end.gcode, and this goes through, turns your heated build platform off, shuts your temperature off, and runs through all that. So what we'll do is we'll take you right to the source. You can go in here and you can modify G-code, like M140 sets your heated build platform temperature. It's set to 70 Celsius. You can go in here and change it to 80 Celsius. And that will work, but when you want to generate new G-code, it'll default back to 70. So if you want to make a permanent change, then you want to do it right at the gcode.start file. So we'll go ahead and our start.gcode file and the end.gcode file. This here sets your tip temperature at 225 Celsius. You can change that on the fly, or you can go to the start.gcode. So let's go ahead and open it up here. We're going to go out to our ReplicatorG folder. Let me pull that out here so you can see it. Let's open that up. Guess I don't need that out there anymore. Okay, ReplicatorG 34. Now what you want to do is drill down, and you could create shortcuts to this, but what we're going to do is go into ReplicatorG 34. We're going to go into Scheme Engines. We're going to go into SceneForge 47. We're going to go into SceneForge Application. We're going to go into Preferences. Here are all the profiles in SceneForge. And we're going to go over these in detail in our SceneForge series. Right now we're just going to show you where the start.gcode and end.gcode files live. There's one of those sets in every single one of these. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and open up one of these. We'll go into Profiles. Oh, sorry, let's see here. Alterations. You want to go into Alterations. So TF3D profile, alterations, and then here is your start.gcode and your end.gcode. So let's go ahead and take a look at the start. In the start.gcode, we have greatly simplified it over time. Used to be a lot more than this, but as you can see, G21 sets the machine to metric. G90, absolute positioning, setting to zeros. G28, homing back to XY0 end stops. This will auto home to your XY0 end stops, and it is auto homing to minimum. That is set in your machine.xml file to tell it which direction, so that would be your minimum settings. not your maximum end stop, but your minimum. G92, set the origin. So this is setting your X at 0, your Y at 0, and your Z at 0 at home. Set to relative positioning. Set the bed target temperature. Now this is going to preheat your bed to 70 Celsius. Also, your tip is going to preheat itself to 225 Celsius. Now in SceneForge, you're going to tell it what temperature it should be running at, but you need to get the head primed, and this is how it happens. SceneForge, after the printer takes off and starts printing, SceneForge will take over with its temperature tab. But for now, we need to make sure the tip is at temperature and the heated build platform is up to temperature. M109 will not allow your machine to move or start printing without it reaching temperature. So this is kind of a safety feature. Once the temperature reaches 225 and 70, G1 will turn on your extruder, and it'll extrude for 10 seconds, feed rate 100. So extrude for 10 seconds at a feed rate of 100. G28 will then home back to the X, Y, and Z 0 end stops. G90 sets the absolute position. G92 E0 zeros the extruded length. And that's the end of the start.gcode file. And now we'll take a look at end.gcode file. In the end.gcode, we see an M104 is set to S0. So after the print is finished, the G-code is done, this end.start file is added, or end.gcode file is added to the end of your print. And what this is going to do, it's going to shut down things. So M104 sets the extruder temperature to 0. That means it'll shut off your heat to the tip. M140 is set to 0, set the heater build platform temperature, and that will basically turn that off. So basically, you're shutting off your tip, you're shutting off your tip, you're shutting off your heated build platform, and then you're also shutting off your motors with the M84. So after you're done with your print, you don't have to worry about it running all night long if you let your printer sit at a shop or somewhere in your house all night. Once the print job is done, the machine will shut itself down. The G1 Y285 at a feed rate of 5,000. What that does is after the print is done, there's a homing code here. You're going to home the X and the Y to 0, and then the Y is going to push the bed forward 285 millimeters, so you can grab your object off the printer. You could probably set this at a larger number. It depends on the size. I've left it at 285, so it works for 12 by 12 or 14 and our 16. Obviously, the 16s can move forward a lot more, probably 300 or 400 depending on the model that you get. So it's something you can adjust. It just makes it easy so you don't have to touch the plate. You know, if it's still hot, the parts move forward, you can tap it off and not have to touch the plate at all. So, well, that's the that's start.gcode and end.gcode, and that's what they do, and this is where you can find them. We go into another folder here. Let's just try 25 profiles. Oops, I was going the wrong one there. Alterations, and there's your end and start. It's the same thing. We can bring those up side by side. And you can make changes to these. You can make any kind of modifications you want. If you want to do different things during startup, I have found this to work and prime the head and get it going. If you wanted to prime some more, you want to add to your extruder time here and change that to 20 seconds. The more you extrude, the more you just want it to extrude enough to fill the chamber when it's sitting there heating up and some is oozing out. So you just want the right amount. And you can even change your feed rate. I mean, you can go up to 600 on this, but 100 is what I would recommend. You usually print around 70. The motor is capable of going really fast, so you don't want to go too fast. We're doing some experimentation with moving pretty quickly with a lower layer height, so we'll have to hopefully be able releasing our 0.02 layer height here in the next couple months. So, but anyway, I'll have to wrap this video up. I hope I've explained enough of the start and the end and how it plays a role in adding itself to the G-code file. Here it is again. Here's your start. Well, this is your start G-code. Oops, start G-code. And at the very bottom, you've got your end G-code. All right, we'll see you in the next video.